The reason why you cannot get a date, the reason why you still haven't been in a relationship, the reason why you don't have a boyfriend, the reason why you don't have a girlfriend, because you're ugly. There, I said it. You're ugly. You're 5, 4, 3, 2. All right, that's what we needed. I needed to watch the video that made me have all these thoughts in the first place to kind of stir these thoughts up again. Okay, boom. The reason why you cannot get a date, the reason why you still haven't been in a relationship, the reason why you don't have a boyfriend, the reason why you don't have a girlfriend, because you're ugly. There, I said it. You're ugly. SpongeBob said it first, okay? He said it first.
Well, maybe it's just because you're ugly.
Hold up. Before y'all jump me, okay? Before y'all beat me up, just wait. Just hear me out, okay? Can I have a moment? Can I have a moment, okay? Here's the thing. You're ugly. There, I said it.
You're ugly. Love yourself. Right. You're ugly.
You're ugly. Love yourself. But no, seriously. Not seriously, you're ugly, because that's mean. But when I say ugly, I don't necessarily mean in the physical sense, in the external sense, in the sense of looks. I mean, there is something about you that is ugly. And most likely, it is going to be right in here, my friend. It's going to be internal. It's going to be right here in the chest. You know what I'm saying? There is something about you that is off-putting. There is something about you that is unsettling. There is something about you that lacks confidence. There is something about you that just does not click. And here's the thing. It's not that it does not click with other people. There is something about you right now that does not click with you. I know. I know. I know. I know. Don't beat me up, okay? Because we got to talk through this. Give me some time. Here's the thing. How can you say that? Malia, how can you say that? Well, I say that because I am you. I've been you. Okay? Every day, and I ain't gonna say every day, but in my past every day, fought hard to not be that version of me, you know. I know what it feels like to lack confidence. I know what it feels like to not feel like you're I know what it feels like to feel like you're not good enough. I know what it feels like to feel like literally everybody and they mama and they mama and they mama and they daddy, for that matter, has some type of edge over you. I know that feeling. Like I've been there before. Had to claw my way out of it to a certain extent, you know. And I feel like we are all that way. So here's the thing: the reason why you are struggling so hard to date, the reason why you are struggling, there are multiple reasons. And honestly, we're gonna get on into that another day. And I know the reasons. Y'all may say, Malia, how you know? Because I study these. I got these, man. God gave me 2 of these, man. So I just be watching. You watch people, you learn, you study, you learn about the world. So I know why environmentally, I know why psychologically, I know why just philosophically why you're struggling. to get into a relationship. I know, and I'll tell you about it. Not right now, not that deep. Well, right now, what we're gonna talk about is that ugliness that might be inside of you. Don't fight me, okay? We just talking, we just chopping it up. And I've had that ugliness inside of me too. And like I said, I've had to fight tooth and nail to get it out. And I know how you can. I'm about to tell you exactly what you need to do, okay? Follow me.
Well,
I know the way.
maybe it's
Like,
just because
I know
you're ugly.
exactly what you need to do. So, and here's the good news: it's fixable, it's curable, it's treatable. Like, but if you don't, you're gonna be in the same situation over and over and over again, crying, cry me a river, and then you're gonna be even more sad because right now you might have friends, you might have family, you might have people in your life that you are not necessarily on a romantic level with that still give you some type of love, some type of just affirmative or affirming interactions that are able to what is the word that I'm looking for? I'm sorry, y'all. I like for my sentences to flow a certain way. So when I say or if I pause, it's only because I'm looking for the right word. But to it's not I want to say substitute, but that's not the right word. But y'all get what I'm saying. To as basically a substitute for that to supplement. There we go. I knew it started with an S. So you might have other pretty much relationships in your life that supplement your lack of a romantic relationship. But after a while, if you don't fix that ugliness inside of you, you won't have those either. So you're gonna have to fight. And I'm gonna tell you what you're gonna have to do. Okay, you ready? First thing is you have to change the way you look at yourself. And I know that that's going to be hard. Why? Not because it's necessarily even a hard thing to do, honestly. Like once you begin, it's kind of pretty fun. I'm going to tell you the hardest part about it. The hardest part is going to be acknowledging that you don't like the way you look at yourself. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's it. That's it. We can sit with that for a little bit. That's going to be the hardest part. The hardest part is going to be you acknowledging within yourself there are parts about me that I don't like. Like I just really don't like, and that sucks because you're you, like what you mean? What do I mean? I don't like parts of me. How that makes sense? It don't, but it does, because a lot of us, if I'm shivering or I sound like my voice is shaky, it's because I'm cold. Yeah, but a lot of us we might have grew up in environments or we might have had circumstances in our lives whether it be in childhood or adulthood through whatever whatever have you that pretty much have altered and molded or first of all they have molded who we are and then depending on like the severity of positivity or negativity in the situation have altered who we are so it's kind of hard because you're going to have to acknowledge a lot of those things and that's not going to be fun because if you're anything like me I like to take the not so fun stuff and just just push it down, just beat it up and push it all the way down and never acknowledge it again. That's what I like to do, but that's not the healthiest thing. So first thing you're going to have to acknowledge that there's something about yourself that you might not like, you might find unflattering, and you might be comparing yourself to other people, and that's the next thing. Stop comparing yourself to other people. If you find that you are a person who wants to be, and I mean genuinely wants to be in a relationship, a stable, happy, just secure relationship, not nothing toxic, nothing strenuous, nothing in terms of manipulation where you say you want a relationship but really you just want some people to manipulate and lie to and validate and feed the lack of ego and lack of self-reassurance that you have. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about if you genuinely are craving companionship, real connection, or you want a real partnership, you want to build with somebody, the very next thing after you acknowledge those things about yourself that you don't like, that you're going to have to do is stop that nasty game of comparison because you'll never win. Because there's always going to be somebody bigger than you. There's always going to be somebody smaller than you. There's always going to be somebody taller than you. There's always going to be somebody lighter than you. There's always going to be somebody darker than you. There's always going to be somebody with straighter hair than yours. There's always going to be somebody with kinkier hair than yours. There's always going to be somebody with curlier hair than yours. There's always going to be somebody with longer hair than yours, shorter hair than yours, a longer torso, a shorter torso, bigger muscles, smaller muscles, whatever you feel like you are lacking or do or don't have, there is someone else who feels that exact same way about themselves. And whatever you feel like you do have, there's someone else that has more. Like, and that's the thing. We're all different. Okay? I feel like in this game of just just trying to find somebody, a lot of people are out here trying to force a circle into a square hole. That's never gonna work. That didn't work when we was 6 months, and it's not gonna work now that we're freaking 6,000 months removed from that time when we were 6 months old. Like, you 36. Like, no, seriously, like, we come on now, we're older now. And for the youth, like, if you somehow define this and you're older or you're younger than like 25, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm telling you, there was something that really messed you up. Okay? And it wasn't your fault. It was called a global pandemic. That really stunted a lot of your growth. So you're just playing catch up right now. But don't worry, you will catch up. But for a lot, and it stunted a lot of other people's growth too, not y'all, not just y'all, rather. But here's the thing. Everybody else who had prior experience, like, come on, man, we got to jump back into the game. And again, stop that game of comparison. Like, I was listening to a video where a young man was complaining. I don't know if I'm gonna put the clip in there or not. We'll see how it all sounds. But he was complaining about the fact that he never had a girlfriend, blah blah blah. And he was saying that he was dating a girl or hanging out with a girl that is probably a 6 at best, right? 5 or 6 at best. These are his words. It's not what I'm saying, and I'm not interjecting my personal opinion about necessarily his words. I just want to give a general thought around what he said. So what he said was he was hanging out with a young lady that was about 5 or 6 at best, but for whatever reason, she was very popular in the celebrity world, and she's had sex with a lot of, or dated, I think he said had sex, but dated a lot of celebrities, ball players, athletes, blah blah blah. So he said that gave her an over, inflated ego and kind of conflated her worldview on dating. So he's saying that I'm sorry, y'all, if my voice really sounds shaky. I'm really cold. I should get a jacket, but I'm really flowing here. But anyway, he said that he is a young man who is, he said, like 6'2". He also said something else, but I'm gonna skip over that. He said he's about 6'2". He's had multiple businesses or has multiple businesses, amassed over 100,000 followers, across his platforms, all commendable things. He also said that he does not feel like he's an 8, but he does feel like he is average at best. Okay, so with that said, with that young man, first thing I want to say is I'm not here to judge you. Like, shout out to you. Shout out to any and everybody that is being vulnerable on the internet, opening up about how they feel with their struggles or their successes in the world of dating and any and everything else. It is not easy to put yourself out there. I know that, and I ain't even really put myself out there for real. But yeah. So first and foremost, thank you, sir, for being willing to just contribute to this ether that we call the internet, and all this plethora of content and information that we are accessible to. So because I'm finding it, and you've inspired me to make a video, so thank you for real. That said, my questions, or if I were having a conversation with you, my questions would be to you, if you wanted to have this conversation, if you were open to it, would be, why are you, or what is it about you rather, that you feel like you have to settle for someone who is a 5 or a 6 at best, regardless of how you may feel like you present externally? Internally, why do you feel like you deserve someone that is not your type? I don't, maybe, and there may be some people who ideally they date, what is the word I'm looking for? Conventionally, yeah. Like, some people aren't necessarily conventionally attractive. So there might be some people who they have a preference of people who are conventional or are not conventionally attractive. I feel like I personally, in the past have, dated a lot of people that some people might not find conventionally attractive, but I didn't think that Like, if I ever talk to someone that somebody thought was a 5 or a 6, I'm like, you're crazy. Do you not see how fine this person is? Like, they are easily a 10. Like, you're sick. So that would be my question to you. If you are able to observe and identify this person on whatever your barometer is, whatever your scale is, and say that to me, you are a 5 or a 6, why are you willing to settle for that? What is your version of a 8, 9, 10 if you think that's great? And what is it about you that you feel is undeserving of that, right? Because that's the thing that you may need to work on. That's the thing that you may need to figure out, right? Because if this person is a 5 or a 6, especially off rip in terms of just, and you may be putting other things into that, right? That might not be just physicality, but if it is primarily physicality, for the most part, it ain't going nowhere. It's hard to fake the funk. And that is another reason why I feel like a lot of people, especially men, when they have, excuse me, I don't necessarily even want to say especially men, but for a lot of people, when they may have a lack of success in the dating realm, it's because you're going after people you're not attracted to. It's really easy for everything to be easy when that person is easy on the eyes. No, but seriously, like, it's really easy for you to just be in a relationship and be attracted to someone and be with someone if you find them attractive. It's a lot easier to put up with their nonsense, things that you might not necessarily be willing to bend on. It's a lot easier for you to go out of your way. It's a lot easier for you to keep them in your brain because you are attracted to them. So that would be the next thing. Third reason, and I'm gonna wrap this up because I don't want it to be too long, but third reason why you're still single after, or why you may still be struggling with a relationship after you after you worked on yourself, after you've acknowledged whatever ugliness may be inside you internally, right? Because I'm not speaking on external. Because here's the thing, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, literally. Like, who cares how somebody else look to somebody else? How do they look to you? Do you think she fine? Do you think he fine? Do you think they fine? Then date them like they the finest person you think they are. If they not, leave them where they at. But then you say, oh, but that's my thing, going for my type, my type, my type. You don't even know your type. You don't even know your type. Your type is your best friend type because she got a lot of guys and you figured, hey, they got friends. And so by default, that became your type. You don't even know what your type is. Figure out your type. That's fourth thing. Literally. So let's go back. First thing is figure out what that ugliness is inside of you that you may need to work on. Second thing is stop playing that ugly game of comparison. Third thing is stop settling, okay? Stop settling. The difference between you and the person that you admire or the person that you envy is that you settle for less, okay? That's it. That's the only difference. And that fourth thing, okay, and last but not least, that fourth thing, figure out your type, okay? Sit down. And I know. The list people, the list people. How many times we ever heard, if you don't go looking for something, you ain't gonna find it. If you go looking for something, you gonna find it. We've heard it frontwards and backwards. So we know it to be true. Why is it that when it comes to a partnership, when it comes to a relationship, that is such a taboo thing to do? It's because, again, going back to number one, there's something inside of you that you feel like you don't like, you're not comfortable with, that you feel like other people may feel the same way about. And so you get in your feelings, and that's okay. Once you work on that, you won't take it so personal. So sit down, figure out your type. Maybe not necessarily a list of specifications, but more so bullet points of just general parameters. But you need something. You need some type of guideline, some type of skeleton, some type of framework to just help you understand where the heck you're going. If your starting point is singleness and your ending point is a relationship or marriage and kids, that's the equivalent to you starting in Virginia and wanting to get to freaking California, right? You have to have some type of navigation course set so that you know where you're going. It's just like if you get in your car and you want to freaking drive from Texas to New Mexico. Like, you have to know where you're going. You know it's close, you know it's nearby, you know it's doable, you know it's attainable. You better not die. But you have to know what you're doing. So my camera's about to die, so I need to wrap it up. Okay, y'all, the camera cut off, but we're back. And basically, yeah, like I said, that's pretty much it. Like, the reason why you're single, it's because you're ugly, you know? And again, I do not mean out here. I mean, there is something in here that you don't like about yourself and that you should go on the journey of finding and changing. So you can, get the desired life and outcome that you want. And again, the reason why I can say that is because I'm you. I've been there, and I think that we can all go back there if we're not careful and if we're not actively doing the work. Like, real quick, I'll share a quick little story and then I'll be done. Like, I'll never forget, this was some years ago. Like, that's how long it's been since I've been actively just working on my sense of self. And I do want to do another segment just talking about self image, self worth, self esteem, self reassurance, all of those things. That'll come at a later date. But I can remember I like to post a lot of stuff, especially back then when I was a little young tenderoni. Right now, I feel like I'm gaining a little weight. So up close, I'm a little bit self-conscious. Sorry if I just hit the mic. But I can remember I posted a picture, and this girl was like something about I was so confident. Even back then, I wasn't as confident as I am now. I had a little bit, but she was just like, how do you do that? Like, how are you so confident in yourself? How are you able to just put yourself out there like that? Like, if you don't mind me asking. And I remember, like, because I had worked on that. Like, and I was, first and foremost, I was flattered, honored, thankful, grateful, all those things that she noticed. And then beyond that, just, I was completely transparent. I was like, if I could just be honest with you, um, for the longest, it was a hard thing to do because I just can remember basically before I got to the level of self confidence that I have now. Um, I can just remember a lot of the time. Again, that game of comparison. I'm trying to figure out just how to say it, but I guess I can just come out and say it. But that game of comparison is just so lethal, man. Like, so much so that for me, when I closed my eyes, I did not know what I looked like. Like, you should be able to close your eyes and see yourself as if you're looking in the mirror. If you can't, then maybe there is something that you need to work on. Maybe there's something that you're actively trying to block out or that you want to change. You know what I'm saying? Like, for example, like how people don't like to smile, because they might have like a smile that they consider unflattering. Like, maybe their teeth aren't the most white, like, or bright, or maybe they're crooked, or maybe they're spacey, or whatever the case may be. But as soon as people get veneers, that's all you see is just smiles galore. So I feel like for me, I had that going on. Like, I was just comparing myself to so many people, and it was like, I want to look like this, I want to look like that. Like, back in the day, Zendaya was the it girl, especially for my generation, and she had like that tomboy swag, which I feel like I also have. So it's like, I want to be like this person, I want to be like that person, but like, you can see clearly I do not look anything like Zendaya. Zendaya is gorgeous, and I feel like I'm gorgeous personally. Like, personally, to me, I feel like I am gorgeous, but I had to realize that I am gorgeous even though I don't look like Zendaya. Like, I am my own version of gorgeous, just like she is her own version of gorgeous. And the world might not feel the same way. This might not be conventionally attractive in terms of Eurocentric standards or whatever the case may be. But I like what God gave me on his face, and I'm grateful for it. So first and foremost, I had to recognize that I'm not gonna ever look like Zendaya. I'm not gonna ever look like Yara Shahidi. I don't look like Kiki Palmer. You know what I'm saying? I don't look like Raven Simone. Like, the it girls that I grew up admiring and wanted to be like, I don't look like them. And most people don't. And if you do, that's great, but you're still not them. So you have to learn how to be comfortable with who you are and what you have. And once I recognized that, I went on a journey. I did the work. That's why I love Issa Rae so much, because she shows you her talking to herself in the mirror every day. That's one of the hardest things to do. I challenge y'all to do that for just 3 days straight, not even 7. Look yourself in the mirror, look yourself in the eyes, right? And get into here and start talking into here. Start pouring love into yourself. You know what I'm saying? And once I started to do that, once I realized, hey, I got a different set of lips. I got a different type of nose. I got a different type of eyes. I don't have eyebrows, so if my eyebrows look crazy, it is what it is. I be drawing them on. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something for me. Like, that's one thing about myself that I do want to change cosmetically, and I understand that, and I know that, and I have accepted that. So for whatever reason, that's a deal breaker for somebody. They're like, I want to date a girl who got to draw her eyebrows on every day. I understand, and I'll be honest with you. You might call it hypocritical. Neither do I, because I already do it. We don't need to spend extra time doing it. So Yeah, I do. Moving right along. But yeah, that's the thing. So develop that confidence in yourself. And just recognize who you are, understand who you are, and be proud about it. Don't let anybody try to make you feel bad about whatever it is that you got going on. That's like I love that lady. If I can find it, I'll put it in here where she was like her pictures were going viral online because she had like a really big nose. She's a dark skinned lady, and people were calling her ugly. And she was like, I know I don't look like how y'all expect me to look or how you want me to look, but this is how I look. And I like it. I like it for me because I like me. And I think that so many of us need to get to that point. So, you know, that's like I told that young lady, like I realized I did not know what I looked like when I closed my eyes. And that was a huge problem for me. So I went on a journey of just studying myself, looking at myself, taking it all in, accepting it, and growing from it. So, you know, you can do the same thing. Let's go over the list again. So, identify that ugliness that is within you. Stop playing that nasty game of comparison. Stop settling and figure out what it is that you like. Figure out your type. Now, if you're watching this and you liked it, you want to see more of it, you want me to take a deep dive into any four of those things on the list or even something else, drop it down in the comments below. Let me know. And yeah, we can have more stimulating conversations. And I just want to encourage you, help you grow, let you know that, listen, we're all the same. You can look this up on Google. 99% of all of our makeup is exactly alike. All humans are literally 99.99% exactly the same. The only like 0.1% difference is our DNA, which obviously makes up a lot, but we're pretty much all the same. So if I've gone through this and overcome it and came out on the other side, you can too, okay? And if a relationship, a companionship, a partnership, marriage, kids, family, whatever, is something that you desire, stop letting people tell you that it is unattainable. You watching this right now, you on the other end of that screen, it is attainable for you. You can have it. You just have to do the work. And more of that work is going to be in here than you realize. And you might not want to do it. It probably will suck. It's probably going to hurt. But you're going to come out on the other side so polished, so refined, so beautiful, so grateful. And there are so many people right now that already love you for exactly who you are. They appreciate you. They accept you. They want you around. Only thing that's going to do is increase and amplify when you work on yourself. So don't be afraid. It's a daunting task. It's a tall task. Better men and women than me have failed at the task. That is for darn sure. But we all have the ability to do it. And listen, I'm here to help you. You know, we're gonna be talking this thing out. We're gonna be figuring it out together if you want to be here. Cause the journey doesn't stop, you know, and I'm on that journey every single day. I never want to become complacent. I never want to become stagnant. So I'm always growing, learning, refining, refurbishing, polishing. And I want you to do the same thing, you know, because I love you. I do. I ain't never met you, but I love you and I want the best for you. And I'm going to stop rambling now because I can go all day. So, yeah, if you like this, you know, obviously like the video, leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know something else you might like me to talk about and, you know, cover. And let me ask you this. Did I get you? Did the title get you? Do you think it's clickbait? I don't think it's clickbait because you know, yeah. But yeah, let me know what you think. All right.